Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Soak Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Enough actions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you know, as their guys get set to match up between the Memphis Steamers and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? What? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 catches, 105 yards.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not preparatory. 11 yards there, first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line if they keep clearing holes like that.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
The pass on first down. Complete to number 82.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Ready! 60 Pittsburgh. 59. Now.
And this is caught at the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We'll look now at our starting defense. This unit third best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
And here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Let's go. Let's go.
The false start backs them up 5. First and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Point after, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
That's complete to Butler. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's been a long day for you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like this
is caught inside the 15. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the Niners. And even 40 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. They'll look to throw.
His path became similar to almost running a...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
They cannot hold us down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 4th down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. They had it first and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown. No.
That's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. This is caught, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They're going to look to throw. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. Some excellent games to pick from in that early window. So let's highlight the one going on in London, as that promises to give the folks over there a real good taste of NFL football. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Houston Texans. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A very solid gain of 27.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Second and 13. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it down to the 32. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The 13 yards that time of the first.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Well, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
You used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll look to throw here. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point up and through. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out and catching the ball? Well, the receivers, the running backs, everyone is involved today. And what we're watching right now is really a beautiful team effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more on that one and another first down. Now back to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll drop to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. 2nd and 14. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter cap.
Mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield. Very sharp, too. Each and every dispatch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the pass.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Back to throw. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too.
Ready. 70, Indy. 59. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. 2.
They run the counter now on 1st down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
Certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defense.
And that's caught at the 25. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done as you noted, and they did.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. That time a 6-play drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now the offense heading back out there. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Let's go, defense.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And to give him 12 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And up, 15 line. 15 line. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Let's go.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Go! 60 outlaw! Hot, hot.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for our visitors, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco,